welcome back to Road Tripping with Rachel. I'm Rachel and we are out on a road trip today. So it is hot and early. It's about 8:30 right now. I've already been in the car for like half an hour, but I am taking y'all down to Poplar Bluff, Missouri. So I've actually never been to Poplar Bluff. I know that it is down in southeast Missouri. It's a larger city for that area. I know that they have a historic downtown. Several antique and flea markets are down there. I'm more interested in kind of the antique and flea market just because I think it's fun. And that's just my thing, what I enjoy doing. So Poplar Bluff, you can get to Poplar Bluff by taking 55 down eastern Missouri. It runs along the Mississippi. And then like basically hopping off somewhere around Cape Girardeau, Sykeston, something like that. And then heading west. The other way that you could go is to take 67. And who knows, like I might stop and pull off. I did bring my, I packed a lunch for myself today. So just because like, if you've been following around, you know that I recently moved. And so even though I like to get out and go, I'm also a tightwad. So I packed myself some snacks and a lunch to have. I'm excited. But yep, that's the plan for today. It's going to be a lot of fun having you on this newest adventure with me. Okay, we are now in Poplar Bluff. It was about 2.5 hours. I did stop at the local Walmart, which is apparently just like the market side, and ran in and used the restroom. Simply because like some stores, like when they're antique stores and things like that, and I only know this because I frequent antique stores and flea markets, is that they don't always have public restrooms, and normally you don't want to use them if they do exist. That's all I really got to say. As someone who worked in one, and I cleaned it, and I cleaned it well, you don't want to always use them. Which says something when you're like, I'll use the Walmart one. I select Walmart. Yes. Okay, so we're going to find the one that we're going to. I'll tell you the name once I actually get there. I've got it already plugged into my Google Maps. So we're going to go ahead, we'll run over there, and I'll catch up with you once we actually make it to our destination.
This is the right text.
We are at Frontier Antiques and More, and it looks like there's a flea market. So I actually passed a flea market, and there's this old man that made me think of my grandpa, like sitting outside with a bunch of like engines and things like that. I'm like, that's cool. Let's go check out the antique store and see what we can find, if anything. So I mean, like, it was okay. I didn't realize, because a lot of antique stores, like they don't have a huge online presence, okay? So it's really much more almost like a rummage sale in a lot of cases whenever you're looking at like thrift store, not thrift stores, but like antique stores, flea markets, that kind of thing, because their product moves so quickly, and it's not like they're replacing the same product over and over. It's not like a retail store. So half of it was like thrift clothing, but it wasn't like current thrifted clothing, like it was where it was only like 1 or 2 seasons off. It was like older clothing, but not vintage. They did have some really neat stuff, but a lot of it was from more of like the 80s, which isn't bad. I mean, like the 80s were 40 years ago now, so I mean, like I did see a few things that I'm like, oh, that's at my parents' house, because my parents got married in the 80s. But there wasn't really anything where I was like, oh yeah, like I want that. It was more like, oh, that's kind of cool, and like moved on. Now, I think if you've been following me on this, like, you know that I'm kind of picky as far as like what I like to have in my home. And then also, like, I believe in functional antiques. So I don't want to purchase something just to have it sitting there. I want to be able to actively use it. Even if I don't use it all the time, I want to be able to use it. Just wasn't quite as exciting as I was really hoping it was going to be, but there's supposed to be a couple of more. I'm probably not going to check out this thrift store here, but I'm not that far away from Dexter, Missouri either. So I was already planning on like going through Dexter and then looping up 55 in order to get back home. But I mean, I'm gonna check and see what else is here in Poplar Bluff, and then I think I might start heading in that direction.
Almost every.
We're at Antiques and Flea Market store number 2, Country Bumpkin. Already, like, I have a little bit higher hopes, just because the outside just looks more put together. Like, they've got like vintage like bicycles that are obviously meant to be looked at and be outside, and they've got like rose bushes and things that are, it just looks neater and cleaner, which as a consumer makes me feel more comfortable walking in. The other place didn't look bad, but I mean, like, I was kind of afraid of bottoming out my car. So let's see how it goes. So I like this one much better. It has more of like this, a lot of the things like I would like it to look at, like depression, where it's got more of like a lot of Pyrex bowls, Fire King. It had some furniture. I and my cousin are kind of looking for something that can go by our front door, kind of as like a drop zone. It's almost noon. Like I said earlier, I brought my lunch with me. I might see if I can find like a nice park or something. It is hot though. It's 90 degrees. But a nice park wouldn't be bad, to see if I can find somewhere and go sit and eat, and or even just park and stay in the car with the AC on. That's another possibility. Anyway, let's go ahead and just see. I think I'm probably gonna start heading. There was only like 3 places, and I passed the other one and I just wasn't interested in it. So let's go ahead and probably start heading a little bit more towards like the Dexter area, and just kind of see what we find over there. In classic Rachel fashion, I stopped by the Walmart here in Dexter to use the restroom, and was like, well, I'm here. I should go in ahead and just pick up some of the stuff that I forgot to pick up when I ran through the grocery store last night. So I picked up yeast, sesame oil, and Watkins vanilla. So there we go. My grocery shopping's now finished. I'm an old... Okay, I was on my way into Walmart. I passed this on the highway. It's the corner Cottage, home decor and gifts. I'm like, why not? I don't see a reason to not stop by. Okay, that was a super cute store. Yes, I did buy some stuff while I was there. Ooh, that's the wrong bag. So I bought some tea. So ginger lemon zest, true honey teas. I'm looking forward to that. And then some shave butter, because I use like a old-fashioned like razor where it's a weights on it and you replace the blades every so often. That's what I use. I've used it for years. I love it, but I get nicks and scratches, and that's supposed to help, so we're gonna try it. I've used their hand cream before. And then I bought myself a chocolate bar, bourbon pecan pie, because I'm listening to a podcast as I've been traveling all about luxuries, and considering like really seeing like a luxury for what it is, that it's not always like this, you know, $1,200 bag or anything like that, or like this huge fancy schmancy meal. That sometimes the luxury is like, I'm going to have a chocolate bar, like a good chocolate bar, and it will be lovely. So I bought myself a good chocolate bar, and I expect it to be lovely. Otherwise, I'm going to put my location into Google Maps, and I'm going to find this other antique store that I was originally... Oh my gosh, it's so good. I just took the first bite. It's almost like there's a literal pecan pie in this. It's amazing. We are here at Old Timers Antique Store. Let's see. Okay, probably my favorite. store that I've been into today, with the exception of the Cottage corner. That wasn't an antique store. It was just totally different. But they had original pieces of art. They had furniture. I found this table and chairs, which I don't need because I just bought some. But I was like, oh, if I had seen this, I totally would have bought this. But it was really neat. There's a lot of stuff in there that like I personally like and appreciate, that if I were living by myself I probably would have gotten. But outside of the fact that like between me and my cousin now living together, a majority of the things in the apartment are mine, I need to make sure like I'm not bringing in a bunch of other decor items and things like that, simply because I want her to feel free to choose and select things and like make it her space as well. So I had a snack earlier, but it's going on 2 o'clock now. I think I'm gonna go ahead and eat the sandwich and chips that I brought with me. My sister. So there you go, Sarah, because I know you're gonna watch this. I got your Christmas present already purchased, and I really like it. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, that's it right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and have my sandwich before I get back on the road, because it shouldn't take me long to eat it. So I'm just gonna enjoy sitting in the AC for just a little while. All right, back in the apartment, up in my room. I just did the dishes from my, in-car picnic. Stopped and went through a bookstore when I got back into town, and I had a lot of fun. I was chatting with my mom and sister kind of throughout the day at different times. It was a lot of fun. I personally really like Southern Missouri. I hope that you enjoyed like seeing me like drive around down there and check out a few of the places that I went. I'll probably post a couple of pictures here. And I had a fun time and getting to invite you along with me, and I got one of my Christmas presents purchased for the year. So all around, it was a successful trip, if for no other reason than that. All right, I'll see you next time. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can come along.